Welcome to a very unfortunate edition of Terror News. This is the most terrifying thing that could happen to the city of Chattanooga. There have been multiple UFO sightings around this city. I have with me today the leading Chattanooga UFO analyst, Matt Bolus. Matt Bolus, I'm sorry to meet you on these circumstances. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you, Dusty?
Terrible. This is a terrifying time.
These are the very terrible circumstances that we are currently in right now on Terror News. Future heads up, we do have reports coming in all over the Southeast. The Southeast has been getting hit with multiple reports of just these UFOs that are hovering above certain key cities in the Southeast.
There have been 7 sightings in Chattanooga in the past 48 hours. 2 over the Chattanooga Aquarium. 3 over Signal Mountain.
Each one of these sightings has also been identified as a triangle-shaped object in the sky with 3 emanating lights, with multicolored lights. We weren't sure at first whether or not this might have been some sort of pride drone, or we have confirmed with the LGBT community that in fact they are not flying pride drones.
This is not a Pride Month extravaganza. This is serious. This is scary. Officials and the media are denying this. Do not listen. There have been multiple UFO sightings. This, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, is the big one. This does not bring me joy. This brings me terror, and you need to be aware. Matt Bolus, what do people need to do if they see these floating triangular pride-like UFO?
Number one is you're going to want to make sure that you don't shoot at any of these objects that are in the sky.
No guns.
If you have a weapon, of course, if you have a weapon for self-defense at home, you're going to want to make sure that you don't shoot at any of these these objects. These objects are unfamiliar to us. They're unidentified. We don't really exactly know what these objects are, except we do know what these objects are. But the U.S. Air Force has been, since 2017, slowly declassifying certain documents and slowly releasing footage of said UFOs that are of triangular shape, going past pilots. Now, if you are experiencing UFOs in your community, in your city, if you see them, now there has been reports, Dusty. There have been reports that there have been roofs that have been damaged and paint coming off of cars. Now, what you're going to want to have to do is you're going to have to get a safe kit. You're going to have to get a UFO safe kit. Now, this safe kit's going to include, you're going to want an emergency blanket, some emergency ponchos, some pillows, 2 bottles of water, Fiji water.
Per person?
Per person.
Okay.
Per person. So that's 2 bottles of Fiji water per person in your household. So if you have, let's say,
12 people in your house.
12 people, you're going to want 24.
Okay.
You're going to want 24 bottles of water, Fiji water.
Is that 36 ponchos?
And 36 ponchos,
okay.
Exactly.
And you're not to shoot?
You're not to shoot if you have a gun, if you have a friend who has a gun, if you are a neighbor of a friend who has a gun, or if you're the person who lives next to the neighbor, in between the friend and the neighbor, and you have the gun. Nobody should be shooting at these objects. We strongly recommend here at Terror News that you do not shoot at these objects.
More life-saving, possibly existence-saving tips after this. This edition of Terror News Update is brought to you by
Matt Bola Cola. Check me out. Yeah. Matt Bola Cola. Check me out.
Raj?
Yeah.
I'll get some Matt Bola Cola. I'll get some Matt Bola Cola. SPF 50.
I'll get some of this Matt Bola Cola, Raj. Rajas and Brajettes. You feel thirsty?
Matt Bola Cola. Check me out. Yeah. Matt Bola Cola. Check me out. Yeah.
Some of the common side effects of Matt Bola Cola include heartburn, stomach pain, nausea or vomit, bloating, gas, diarrhea, constipation, instant weight loss, excessive testosterone, low blood sugar, high blood sugar, no blood sugar, symptoms of weakness, muscle pain, and nostalgia.
If you experience any of these symptoms, contact your physician now.
Matt Bola Cola. Matt Bolas, you in your past have had encounters of the third kind, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
What should someone do if they find themselves deep inside, for lack of a better term, penetrating a spaceship? Not a pride-like object, but penetrating the mothership.
Stay calm, stay collected, remember to breathe. You just got to remember to breathe. You're going to be very happy if you have the kit with you because you'll have those ponchos. Those 36 ponchos are crucial because ponchos happen to be currency for the aliens.
That's what all the ponchos are for.
That's why they like ponchos.
Okay.
They use ponchos as currency.
So you made your way home with the ponchos.
If let's just say if I didn't have now when that happened to me, I only had 16 ponchos on me. 16.
And they took your eye.
They took my eye, and luckily I had 16 ponchos on me. I was able to trade.
You were working Riverbend and it was raining.
It was raining at Riverbend. They try to spin it. They try to make people think that it was a shooting. It wasn't.
Mayor Andy Burke needs to get on top of his game. He is so worried about comments. He is neglecting his community. We are all going to die. Bad news. We are all going to die one day.
Andy Burke, let me tell you something, Dusty. Andy Burke has known about these objects for years, has done nothing to stop these objects from flying over Chattanooga. If anything, he has perpetuated these objects flying over Chattanooga. If anything, he is the part of the problem. He is part of the problem. Bob Corker, if you go back and if you look at when that Volkswagen plant and the UAF and all of that crap happened, you go back and you look.
It is awful suspicious that the first was sighted after UAF. The second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth happened at the beginning of Pride Month. Perhaps to throw us off of the scent, thinking that they are multicolored Pride drones, when in fact they are extraterrestrial beings here to enslave humanity and put us into an early grave. Worse news. We are all going to die soon. If our elected officials don't get off of their high horses and come back to the ground with the rest of us, I'm afraid we're all going to wind up in a fiery early grave.
We have reports.
I am afraid. That is why we are recording this here today in my underground secret bunker. For years, I was made fun of for being a doomsday prepper. My 4th grade teacher was like, Dusty, you f***, why are you a doomsday prepper? And let me tell you this, Miss Whitlock, this is why. Look where you are now. You're dead. You died of old age. I'm alive in my bunker. I am going to survive this with Matt Bolas, and we are going to build New Jerusalem. Matt, what do they want? What is primary objective number 1 for these extraterrestrials, and why are they here? Why are they in Chattanooga, your home and mine? Beautiful, sunny, sometimes rainy, Chattanooga. Why?
Well, before we get into what aliens want, I just want to go into the product I'm trying to endorse here on the Terror Alert News. This product is a product that everybody can use. You can put it in your emergency kit, and it's dehydrated hot dogs. Now, I do have a machine here that will help me. I'm going to take the hot dogs, if they're dehydrated, I'm going to put it on the machine, and then the machine's it's going to work its magic, and it's going to hydrate these hot dogs. Do what now?
It looks just like paper.
Well, no, it's not. Yeah, that's what it's supposed to look like, is paper. All right, now, hold on. Here we go. Good God. All right, now, as you can see, it's hydrated those hot dogs. There's 8.
Those are lush hot dogs.
Those are 8 hot dogs.
A great idea, dehydrated hot dogs. These will be perfect for when the impending apocalypse falls upon this beautiful city.
You want to know something about these hot dogs? They're made from peanuts. Gluten-free peanuts. That gets us to what the aliens want. They want the gluten.
They want our gluten.
They want our gluten. Guess what fuel source they use for the UFOs?
Don't say it.
Gluten.
No.
Yes.
They will take my gluten from my goddamn cold dead hands. Gluten-free. I'm not going to live in a gluten-free world.
That's why the hot dogs are gluten-free.
I would rather blow my own brains out.
They want our gluten. They know how to mine our gluten. They know how to get to some parts of the gluten that we have not been able to get to. And they'll do it. They will do it.
If our elected officials on their high and mighty dollar horses will not help us stop them, then we have to do this on our own. Go out, purchase your ponchos, multiple ponchos.
There's more to it. What is a big proprietary of gluten? High fructose corn syrup. Now, if you've ever noticed, where do crop circles happen?
Cornfields.
Cornfields. Now, we did a little study because if you notice, crop circles aren't as big as the actual fields, and there's some are small in comparison to the acreage of those fields. Correct?
Correct.
Now, what we've done is we as scientists have went in and not only tested the corn where the crop circle actually happened, but we tested all the corresponding corn around the crop circle. And we found at least a 50 to 60% decrease of high fructose corn syrup in the actual corn surrounding the crop circle. Surrounding the crop circle.
I'm not trying to point fingers here. And you are an expert, an analyst, an analypist.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
And probably one of my best friends and definitely the best lover I've ever had. So I'm not trying to throw stones here. But don't you think it's a little goddamn funny that none of this started happening until Matt Bowl of Cola was being produced again? What's the main ingredient in Matt Bowl of Cola? High fructose corn syrup. And now
It is an ingredient, yes.
it's the main
No,
ingredient.
it's one of 127.
That's why it gets fucking chunkier as you drink it. Matt,
What are you implying, sir?
I'm starting to think that this is your fault. And I think that you knew that the Matt Bowl of Cola would be the end time prophecy prediction, and that you would be able to make the almighty dollar selling your gluten-free dehydrated hot dogs here. And you're trying to use this platform, the platform Terror News, voted the best terrifying news in Chattanooga, and you're trying to use that to get rich. And you're not really here to educate us, you're here to rape us. Now, granted, he's the best lover I've ever had, but that is wrong.
Those are some pretty high accusations there, Dusty.
I'm pretty
Waffles.
high.
Yeah.
I'm pretty high.
Yeah, well, me too. And let me tell you something right now, sir. Let me tell you this. For you to bring me on here and to falsely throw accusations, that's a defamation of character, sir. I could have my attorneys on the phone right now with your people.
Well-
in less than a heartbeat. Let me finish. Let me finish, sir.
Finish.
I will finish, sir. I'm gonna finish you up like a steak and potatoes. Listen here.
And then I'll finish you off like the man you are.
Good.
All over my chest.
I wouldn't expect any less.
Please tell me it's not you that is causing this.
Now let me explain what happened. Okay, if you give me time just to explain it, instead of throwing these accusations out. About a year ago, Matt Bolacola was bought. Matt Bola's podcast, Chattanooga Podcast Network, Podcasting Partners Atlanta. None of it owns Matt Bolacola anymore today.
Who owns Matt Bowl of Cola?
Now, I like money. We needed money.
Who owns Matt Bowl of Cola?
Andy Bird.
Andy Bird.